Let's now test the website, starting from the perspective of a regular visitor. On the home page, we can see the properties listed at the top. Right now there's just one property, the one we created at the very beginning. It has a Book Now link that leads to a single product page with booking functionality. This page is generated by WooCommerce, and because WooCommerce is integrated with JetBooking, the booking logic is already in place. We'll test actual bookings a bit later. If we scroll down the home page, we see the list of vendors. Notice that the admin user is not displayed here, only vendors are shown. Clicking a vendor opens their single profile page where we would see properties if they offered any. Now let's try accessing the account page. As planned, we are redirected to the login page. I'll log in as vendor 1 and I'm redirected straight to my vendor account with all the subpages we created. At this point, my properties is still empty. Let's check booking configurations. I'll make a small change here. For example, I'll set the maximum allowed booking length to 7 days and save the settings. The booking calendar is empty for now, which makes sense because there are no bookings yet. Now let's test Add Property. I'll enter a name, a price, and upload a featured image. Since we're working from the front-end vendor cabinet, the image is uploaded directly from the computer. After submitting the form, we see a success message, but the property doesn't appear in My Properties yet. That's because it still needs to be approved by the admin. Let's switch to the WordPress dashboard, still logged in as this vendor. Here we can clearly see how the new vendor role works. The dashboard is available, but access is limited. In media, we can only see the files we personally uploaded. For example, the image we just added for the property. We can't access media uploaded by the admin or other vendors. If we go to products, we see our new product marked as pending. When we open it, there's no publish button. Publishing is reserved for the admin. Let's create another product, this time directly from the backend. The process is very similar to what the admin sees, but some options are restricted. For example, changing categories or tags, which is intentional. For this product, I'll enable a custom schedule. Remember, this vendor already has global settings that doesn't allow bookings for more than 7 days. But for this specific booking, I'll allow check-ins only on Friday and Saturday. I'll submit this product for review as well. One important thing to note here is that for the fields, vendors are allowed to edit. They can make changes freely, whether the product is still pending or already published, without additional approval from the admin. Let's continue exploring the vendor dashboard. The booking section is still empty for now, so we'll come back to it later. In booking settings, we see the same configuration and schedule options that are available in the front-end vendor cabinet. For example, we can confirm here that the maximum booking length is set to 7 days. Showing that backend and front-end settings are fully synchronized. In the profile settings, the vendor can edit personal information, contact details, and the custom user meta fields we added earlier using JetEngine meta boxes. Now let's log in as the second vendor, create a couple of booking products, and then switch to the admin account to approve them. As expected, this second vendor doesn't see any media files yet because they haven't uploaded anything. Once we log in as admin, we go to products and see several items waiting for approvals. There's one detail here: products created from the front end are not automatically set as JetBooking products. Before publishing them, the admin must change the product data type to JetBooking product. Otherwise, booking functionality will not work. Let's also test how admin-level global booking settings affect vendors. For example, I'll set a global end date that limits bookings to the next 2 months. Now I'll log out again and visit the site as a regular user. On the home page, we now see multiple booking products. If we open vendor pages, we can browse their properties and start booking either from the vendor page or from the main listing. For the first vendor, we know they have their own global bookings configuration. When I open one of the properties and try to select days, I see a message asking me to choose a date range between 1 and 7 days. That's the result of the vendor's own maximum days setting, even though the admin's global settings limits bookings to 2 months ahead. I'll proceed and add this booking to the cart. Now I'll check another property from the same vendor. It still has 7-day limit, but it also only allows check-ins on Friday and Saturday, because we configured that at the individual booking level. Before checking out, let's look at products from the second vendor. This vendor doesn't configure any vendor level settings, so there's no 7-day limit here, but the admin's 2 months restriction still applies. I'll add another booking from this vendor and go to the cart. What's interesting here is that even though these bookings belong to 2 different vendors, the user sees them as one order. This is handled automatically by the integration between JetBooking and WooCommerce. Now let's see what happens on the backend. Logged in as admin, I go to WooCommerce orders. I see 1 parent order and 2 vendor sub-orders, 1 for each vendor. In the bookings dashboard, we see 3 separate bookings, 1 for each booked product. The admin also has access to the vendors page, where all vendors are listed along with their products, bookings, and profile links in one place. When vendors log in, they can see only their own bookings. They can update booking statuses, filter bookings, and switch between list, calendar, and timeline views. In the front-end vendor cabinet, the multi-day calendar is also updated and shows bookings spread across the actual days they occupy. Finally, let's test Edit Property from the front end. I go to the vendor account, open My Properties, click Edit on one of the listings, and change the featured image and price. After submitting the form, the changes are applied immediately, and we can see them right away in the properties list. And that's the full flow. The main feature in this release is the new vendor role in JetBooking. Each vendor gets a restricted WordPress dashboard where they can manage only their own booking items, media, and bookings, without touching global settings or anyone else's content. And with JetEngine and JetForm Builder, you can also wrap that workflow into a clean front-end cabinet, so vendors don't have to work inside WordPress admin. Since this is an early release, feedback matters, so if you test it, share what you find. Subscribe for more practical builds like this, and I'll see you in the next video.